You know, ladies and gentlemen, I really didn't have, Denuvo attacking gamers to be on my bingo card for 2024, but apparently that's a thing. And I think it's actually freaking hilarious because if a company in gaming is universally hated, it is most likely going to be Denuvo. That's just the truth. Nobody likes Denuvo in their games. Nobody likes Denuvo, period. And Denuvo has decided to make comments on what Game Rant, because of course it's Game Rant, right? So Game Rant's going to take the side of corporations because they have to in order to maintain their access. But Denuvo has apparently made comments on toxic gamers.
You're cheating, and I don't want to play no more. I hate this.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Denuvo, of all companies, has decided to make comments on toxic gamers. And they're just basically saying you're mad because we are doing good. And everybody knows Denuvo absolutely destroys the performance of games. But at the end of the day, this is where we're at. This is our bingo card of 2024. So let's get into this article, guys, from Game Rant. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. So we got some key takeaways here. Denuvo has recently been making efforts to clear the air around its negative perception in the eyes of PC gamers. After its newly opened Discord server had to be shuttered, Denuvo spoke up against the toxic and hostile behavior exhibited by PC gamers. It is also claimed that PC users who don't want to pay for games blame Denuvo for performance issues. Wow, we're going deep into this one. We're going into piracy. Wow. So I didn't even realize that Denuvo even opened up a new Discord server, apparently, that they just closed down according to for toxicity and whatnot. Maybe they didn't have proper moderation there or whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, man, you got to expect that people hate you for a reason. And you can try to sit there and you can try to lie about what your program does. But PC gamers are not stupid, right? PC gamers absolutely are ridiculously smart, and they look into shit and they will see and compare and do all the nerdy shit that you don't like, because it's going to make your argument a lot harder to push on people who aren't like that. But they will do all the nerdy shit necessary to make sure that their argument is proven to be true against your program. They're not just going to speak openly out against it without any proof to back it up. PC gamers don't rock like that. It says Denuvo had pushed back against some of the negativity surrounding its public image. The notorious anti-tamper software has been lambasted by PC gamers for years, and Denuvo is now on a mission to address the long-standing concerns against it. Denuvo's history is marred by controversy in the sphere of PC gaming. While the software is designed to protect games from piracy, players have often complained that it significantly tanks in-game performance. Resident Evil Village was a prominent example of this, as its Denuvo implementation reportedly caused stuttering and reduced frame rates. Capcom eventually removed Denuvo from Resident Evil Village, but despite these concerns, there hasn't been enough hard evidence that links Denuvo to poor game performance on PC. Yes, there has. There's been people that have done studies on this. I've seen YouTubers do studies on it. I've seen multiple threads on forums where they showcase the performance hit with and without Denuvo. I don't understand why you would say there isn't enough evidence to it, unless, of course, you're trying to run damage control for Denuvo, which I totally get. This is Game Rant at the end of the day. Negative sentiments around Denuvo exist nonetheless, but the company has been making efforts of late to reshape its public image, beginning with the appointment of Andreas Ullman as product manager and the launch of a new Discord server to better engage with PC gamers. However, the Discord server was quickly shut down due to users flooding it with inappropriate content. Well, so if that's the case, if people were flooding it with supposed inappropriate content, that means that you didn't put in the proper moderation techniques in place beforehand in order to stop that, right? You didn't have the right bots, stopping certain images and whatnot. You didn't have mods, controlling the actual conversation. You didn't have any of this stuff, no moderation whatsoever, because if that's the case and people were able to flood you with nonsense, you didn't set it up right. You should probably talk to someone who knows how to set up a Discord server in order to prevent this nonsense from happening in the first place. Following this setback, Ullman spoke with Rock Paper Shotgun about the very toxic and hostile views posted about Denuvo in public forums, stating that the team doesn't want to leave the floor to its detractors. So again, people have a right to be upset over what your product does to its video games, right? Companies have been using your products because they are trying to desperately do anything they can to avoid piracy. And I understand. I totally get it. Shrinkage is a thing, right? You don't want people stealing your stuff. I get it. But at the end of the day, you are also affecting the people who actually didn't steal your product. You are affecting the people who purchased your product. It's going to hurt the people who purchased it more than the people who didn't. Ullman further defended Denuvo, claiming that its negative perception stems from its effectiveness in preventing video game piracy. He boldly argued that a large subset of PC players who are unwilling to pay for games frequently attack Denuvo online, blaming it for performance problems in an effort to discredit the software. Additionally, he cited an Entertainment Computing Journal study that claims piracy can cause a 20% loss in revenue for game makers, and that Denuvo helps protect up to 15 to 20% of that revenue. So you're saying that you can protect damn near all of it? You're saying you can prevent all piracy? I highly doubt that. I highly doubt that. Listen, at the end of the day, man, Denuvo has a reputation for a reason. And it's not just because people are mad they can't steal games. I think that's extremely disingenuous, and you're trying to pass it off as, oh, it's just PC players not wanting to pay for games. That's a fucked up thing to do. That is a really fucked up way to try to attack an argument that's being made from the other side. I think it's ridiculous. Interestingly, a frequently asked question on Denuvo's now shuttered Discord server dismissed claims about the software's role in Resident Evil Village's and Tekken 7's performance issue. According to Denuvo, Tekken 7's stuttering was caused by the wrong source code part being selected for protection, while Resident Evil Village's issue stemmed from unrelated protection measures that were removed after the game was cracked. The former claim is rather dubious, especially since Tekken 8 didn't include a Denuvo implementation. It's difficult to say which side presents the more veritable arguments, but it's clear that Denuvo tired of negativity cast its way. Curiously, though, the entertainment computing study Omen referred to also points out that long-term use of Denuvo may not be justified given its potential technical side effects and the software's general dislike among the PC community. So that actual article ends essentially talking against Denuvo, which is so ironic that they are going to try to cite that article as some form of evidence that what their program does is justified and you just got to deal with the performance issues. No. How about instead of attacking gamers as toxic, right? How about you come out with a statement saying that you are going to work on the performance issues that is related to your program? I know at the end of the day, that might be admitting that there is performance issues with your program, which you kind of sort of did admit towards the end, but still, I think it's best to come out and say, you know what? We've realized through many play tests and many examples that there is in fact issues with Denuvo and video games. Some are slight, some are not. But what we are going to do is over the next 6 months to a year or whatever, we are going to work on increasing the performance and bettering the system or bettering the product so that way you're not affected as people who decided to do the right thing and actually buy the games instead of pirating it. You attacking PC gamers as people who just want to steal games is absolutely fucking ludicrous. And that is one of the worst PR moves that you can do as a company. Now, you probably think you have nothing to lose because Denuvo is already universally hated by gamers anyway who play on PC. But no, at the end of the day, bro, this is not fucking cool. This is not a way to continue the conversation. You essentially try to make the other side look like they're just trying to be thieves, which is insane because they're complaining about you affecting the games that they purchased. So at the end of the day, man, just come out with a statement and say you're going to work on the performance issues and try to make it better so that way Denuvo can do what it's supposed to do, which is protect the game while not being noticed in the background. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I will greatly appreciate it. Get to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.